Coming up in the news, the government's fiscal plan presented to Parliament today. Labor leaders gearing up for Labor Day. And the Chamber of Commerce training future business leaders.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the budget communication presented in the House of Assembly this morning with the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, detailing the government's fiscal plan and the goals it intends to meet. The plan introduces duty reductions worth millions of dollars in revenue. Sabrina Brown picks up the story.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, outlining key areas of the 2019-2020 budget, the first budget that will be fully enacted under the legal framework of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018.
There is no increase in value-added tax. Accordingly, what you will see in this new budget, Mr. Speaker, is an approach to expenditure that is about being purposeful, strategic, and intentional about planning for what is necessary and needed. This includes activities to eliminate spending on unnecessary line items, increase government efficiency and productivity, and focused spending in a more targeted and strategic way.
The new budget also includes a number of tax relief measures. The duty reductions on frequently imported items are worth $28 million in revenue.
These include home refrigerators of 18 cubic feet or smaller, which will become duty-free. Home stoves that are 30-inch wider or smaller, duty-free. Garbage can liners from 45% to 25%. Fire extinguishers from 45% to free, flashlights from 45% to 25%, pens from 10% to free, pencils from 10% to free, crayons from 10% to free, sharpeners from 10% to free, school rulers from 10% to free, chart paper from 20% to free, projectors from 45% to 35%, projector screens from 45% to 35%, radios from 45% to 35%, pots and pans from 45% to 25%, and all household furniture from 45% to 25%.
Consumers will continue to enjoy VAT zero rating on light bills under $300 as the temporary measure has been made permanent. Consumers with water bills under $50 per billing cycle will also continue to enjoy VAT zero rating. The finance minister says after conducting an analysis of government expenditure throughout the public sector, a pattern of over-budgeting was discovered.
We found that the budget included allocations for salaries that were no longer being paid. How is that possible? You have situations where the employment register is outdated and does not reflect some of the employees who retired, leave the public service, and move into pensioner status. Although these individuals are not being paid, their salaries are still being budgeted for. Over-budgeting in just this one area alone can reduce available spending in other key areas of the economy.
Turnquest says the government will also continue its focus on the development of small and medium-sized enterprises through its Small Business Development Center. To date, more than 3,500 small businesses are registered with the SBDC.
The Small Business Development Center has approved $87,500 in grants, $205,000 in equity, and $652,500 in government guaranteed loans.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Two key entities on Grand Bahama launching a two-day training workshop on Wednesday morning at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. The purpose of the workshop is to provide business owners with essential information to help their businesses succeed. Various topics were presented to the group, including cost and financial management. Italia Hall was there.
management training attracted a number of business owners. The initiative, spearheaded by the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, along with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, seeks to empower and grow small businesses. Port Authority President Ian Rolls says, with all of the new developments set to come on stream for Grand Bahama in the months ahead, the workshop is expected to prepare businesses for the opportunities to come.
For years, we have known that most businesses fail within the first 3 to 5 years as a result of poor planning, insufficient funding, and lack of basic business management skills and training. When you strip away the aspect of funding, the key factors affecting a business's success is focused on knowledge for both planning and operating.
President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Greg LaRota, says he believes the training sessions are extremely beneficial.
We all know the times that we're going through now on the island of Grand Bahama and what we're doing as organizations, the government, the Port Authority, ourselves at the Chamber, to try and turn that around. Now is a very good time for you to take advantage of initiatives like this.
ProNet facilitator Donald Demerit says they have traveled to several countries conducting the training sessions over the last 10 years.
Today we're going to speak to extensively how to cost and how to price your product or price your service. We're going to speak to how to determine that break-even price or that break-even output. That's so very important for SMEs to stay in business, because it actually gives them that extra oomph in terms of getting over the 3 to 5 year hump that is typically associated with successful businesses.
These young people shared why they decided to attend the 2-day seminar.
I decided to take the day off because I know that I don't know everything. I've never been a business owner, and so I wanted to take advantage of this opportunity.
I feel as a sole proprietor of my company, the need to have a certification in business management and the confidence in business management is really important.
This training is none like no other, and we think that it's going to be a great asset to our company, and we look forward to giving our employees that opportunity to grow and learn more.
The seminar will continue on Thursday, May 30th at 10 a.m. at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Labor leaders on Grand Bahama coming together in solidarity this morning as they prepare to celebrate the annual Labor Week festivities. Now, while these leaders are celebrating on the foundation set by the country's forefathers, they're also expressing a number of issues plaguing the current labor force. Labor leaders on Grand Bahama gearing up for the 2019 Labor Week activities set to kick off on Sunday, June 2nd. While they plan to recognize a number of persons and host the annual events, the labor leaders say more pressing issues need to be addressed immediately. They are calling on the powers that be to effect change in the country. Vice President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, Tammy Bullard Hamilton.
We are concerned that updates need to be presented on amendment to the Immigration Act. The Coalition of Trade Unions and Labor Leaders in Grand Bahama would like the Minister's position and the Senator's rep on the pros and cons of the amendment as it relates to the phrase securing the protection of Bahamian workers for future generations. And when we speak of securing work for future generations, we are not just speaking of a quantity of work, but the quality.
Vice President of the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association, Kirkland Russell, continuing his fight for the rights of casual workers on Grand Bahama.
We believe that this casual labor phenomenon is wreaking havoc on the workforce in Grand Bahama, adversely affecting persons' ability to get loans, affecting their ability to be protected. We believe that the government ought to appoint a select committee or even a commission as soon as possible to investigate and analyze the effect, and I say the negative effect, that the casual workforce is having on the worker, the Bahamian worker, as well as the economy.
Representative for the Bahamas Customs and Immigration Allied Workers Union, Latoya Gardner, says that they too are expecting resolutions from the government.
We would like to have the full and frank report regarding the concerns raised by the union dated back 2 years on the issues of mold concentration in the building and the effects of the employees stationed there. The union would like to define commitments from the government guaranteeing the bargaining units their overtime payments in a timely fashion.
Labor Week activities will begin on Sunday with a church service at Calvary Temple Assemblies of God. Meantime, Grand Bahama Power Company employees responsible for emergency storm response plan in a special workshop today geared toward creating real-life scenarios to test how competent the plan is and the ability of the employees to adapt to real-life hurricane scenarios. Jamila Mizik reports.
The Grand Bahama Power Company is in hurricane preparedness mode, the company holding its annual hurricane drill workshop for employees. Director of Customer Solutions Filter Grant says, prior to 3 years ago, the company used to issue the drill via email, but realized it was not sufficient enough to truly test the ability of employees understanding their specific roles and their ability to adapt and create solutions.
So what we do is from all the past storms that we've had, the things that threw a curveball at us, we put them into the scenarios and we test their ability to adapt to the changing conditions, that they know who to interact with, and they can come up with creative solutions to help us restore our powers to our customers effectively and efficiently. So things like we'll say the harbor's closed, the airport has sustained damage, we can't get in contact with customs, we've lost our material, our warehouse was damaged, employees didn't show up for work, so we test real-life scenarios for their ability to adapt to the plan.
Director of Customer Operations Nikita Mullings asserting that this is not the beginning of the company's preparations, but they're working year-round to ensure that all employees are properly trained to assist.
This simulation is done once a year. However, all year round we are in storm readiness mode where we are actively looking at our plan, our procedure, our employees, where they're actually staged in the event of a storm. Every year what we try to do is rotate the employees that are engaged. That way everyone is aware of what's expected of them.
Grant says over the years, these drills have proven fruitful.
After the drill, we get important lessons learned that we go back and use to improve and implement in our playbooks and our emergency storm response plan. So the drills are critical because sometimes we find out that people might not be familiar with their roles, or that we came across a scenario that we need to have a deeper fix for, or sometimes that we need to change the way that we have a process set up in the playbooks.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, a business establishment on Kennedy Circle that's off East Sunrise Highway was robbed last night. Police tell us that shortly before 9 p.m., 2 men, one armed with a handgun, entered the store and demanded cash, and they were able to escape on foot. Police are investigating and are urging anyone with any information to contact CDU at 350-3107-312, 911-919, or your nearest police station. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Don't go away, there's more news right after this break.
Freeport's original home center.